What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Okerboy and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2018 movie Solo: A Star Wars Story. So in this movie, through a series of daring escapades deep within a dark and dangerous criminal underworld, Han Solo meets his mighty future co-pilot Chewbacca and encounters the notorious gambler Lando Calrissian. So this is a really fun movie. It's kind of a heist movie. They're smuggling different things and stuff throughout the movie. It shows them doing the Kessel Run and everything, and it's just a really fun time. It's not one of the best Star Wars movies or anything, and it's one of the Star Wars movies that kind of doesn't really feel like it has a good reason to exist except for just making more money and stuff. It's one of the Disney spin-off movies that we didn't necessarily need, but I'm still glad that we got it because I think this is a pretty good movie. Alden Ehrenreich is pretty good as Han Solo. I think he does a pretty good job at playing this younger version and everything. I think he gets Harrison Ford's mannerisms down pretty good and everything, and he gets the character pretty well and everything. I don't think that he's near as good as Harrison Ford, but he does as good of a job as he can at playing the character, but nobody was going to be able to live up to Harrison Ford, and I think that Alden did as good of a job as he could have. I really liked Woody Harrelson as Tobias Beck. He's a really likable character for the most part, even though he kind of screws everybody over at the end of it and everything, but he is still a likable character, and Woody Harrelson just brings a charm to the character. Emilia Clarke as Kira is pretty good too. She's got some pretty good chemistry with Alden Ehrenreich and everything. She gives a good performance and everything, but I do feel like her character is kind of pointless and stuff because we're never going to see her again, and she doesn't really add too much to Han Solo's backstory and everything, but nobody was really interested in who Han Solo was with before Leia and everything, is just the way I look at it. Paul Bettany plays the villain Dryden Voss, and he does a pretty good job. I think that Dryden Voss is a pretty good villain and everything, and I think he fits the smaller scale Star Wars movie and everything. And then you got Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian, and he does a really good job too, and he plays really well. He gets the mannerisms of Billy Dee Williams down really well. I heard that he spent a lot of time with Billy Dee Williams to prepare for the role, and I think he did a good job. The visuals look really good and everything. As you would expect from a Star Wars movie, there's a lot of really good visuals. There is some CGI, but it uses practical and CGI and blends them really well. And I think the visuals are pretty good in this movie. The score by John Powell and John Williams' theme for Han Solo are really good and everything. I think it's kind of an underrated score and everything. It fits the tone of the movie really well, and there's a lot of fun scenes throughout. I love the train sequence towards the beginning of the movie when he first meets Tobias Beck. That's a really fun sequence, and then there's quite a few other scenes throughout, but the Kessel Run scene especially is really fun and everything. I love that. As far as negatives go, I don't have a lot, but there are a few. The movie is pretty predictable. You kind of know where things are heading and everything because of this being a prequel and everything, so it feels like you know what the story is going to turn out to be by the time it's over. L3, the droid that Lando Calrissian is so in love with and everything, she's really annoying and stuff, and I didn't like her at all. She was just one of the most annoying droids in all of Star Wars and everything. Not the very most, but definitely one of them and everything. I think that K2 from Rogue One, K2 SRO or RSO, however you say his name. I think he was more annoying than she was, though. But she is kind of an annoying character. And I'll say I don't really think the lighting in this movie is very good. There's a lot of sequences where the lighting is just too dark and everything. This movie kind of should have been a little bit more colorful and everything. Not like vibrant popping colors or anything, but just a little bit more light to it and everything. I know they wanted to give it a different feel from other Star Wars movies, but it needed better lighting and stuff. But that's really the only complaints I have about this movie. For the most part, I just really enjoyed this one. I think it's a fun time. It's not anything super special, but it is fun and everything. It's a good little origin story for Han Solo that answers a lot of questions that nobody was asking, like why he had dice in the Millennium Falcon, or how he got his name Han Solo, and there's a lot of just prequel questions that are answers to questions that weren't really actually being asked. You get from prequels and stuff in this movie that are kind of cringy and annoying, but nothing too bad and everything. And I think this movie is pretty good and everything. So all in all, I think that it's definitely not really a needed movie, but I'm glad that it exists. It's a fun time, and that's all I can really say about it. I really enjoy this movie, but I wouldn't say it's one of the best Star Wars movies or anything like that either. It just is good. So I'm going to say I give Solo: A Star Wars Story an 8 out of 10. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.